morning. I'm Don Gooch. I'm the chairman of the 2019 Greater Hot Springs Chamber of Commerce, and this year our theme is Strive for Excellence and Highlight Excellence. This morning I'm highlighting the excellence that is the dynamic duo of Corey and Stephanie Alderdice. So I'm here at 61 degrees Celsius, and this morning I'm going to ask you guys some questions and just kind of talk about your lives and the excellence that you guys are putting forth and kind of how it comes about. What's the secret recipe? But some questions I want to ask first is, what do you love about Hot Springs?
What isn't there to love about Hot Springs? I mean, we've got a great community. We've got people who've been so incredibly welcoming. We've got a great school. My son is a very proud Lakeside Ram. And if you are bored when you're in Hot Springs, it's your own fault. I mean, there are parks and trails and events and galleries. It's really the whole package.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so often because tourism is the heart of our community, it's easy to forget that so many people from across the state, country, and even world come to Hot Springs to spend their time, and day in, day out, 365 times a year, we get to experience the nature, the community, the attractions, and it's our home, and that just makes it such a fantastic place to live.
Okay, so you love Hot Springs. Tell me about your careers here in this community and how kind of Hot Springs mingles in with it.
So we relocated to Hot Springs about 7 years ago when I was offered the position of director at the Arkansas School for Mathematics, Sciences, and the Arts. There are so few schools like this in the country, only 15 public residential STEM schools, and to have the opportunity to step up and help to lead a program is quite rare. And ASMSA had the combination of a dynamic group of faculty, exceptional students, and an opportunity to grow the school's commitment to the arts. And for me, that was an exciting new avenue as an advocate, as one who is passionate about the arts and humanities, and a next great professional chapter.
So real quick before we go to Stephanie, you've come here and the school has experienced some excellence. I know others benchmark things. Tell me just a little bit about some of the achievements the school has attained.
Sure, I joke that my job is to get out of the way most days and let our students and faculty do great things. And some of the outstanding accomplishments they've had is over the last 5 years, the school has been ranked among the nation's top 25 high schools by Newsweek, the Daily Beast, and the Washington Post. The National Consortium of Secondary STEM Schools, Code.org, and Study.com have all acknowledged the school's excellence as a national leader in STEM education, and particularly in computer science education. So great things are happening on campus each day.
So when a kid comes from one of the top 25 schools, what does that do for them when they're looking for a college to go to?
Yeah, I think it certainly means that they're academically ready for college. In truth, the biggest part of the ASMSA experience that I believe helps colleges know that these are ready and dynamic young people are that they've lived away from home, they've experienced the challenge of finding their place in a new community, that they know how to make good decisions in a new environment. And so they have all the academic preparation you need to be successful in a classroom, but they have the life skills necessary as well to be a good member of a community.
Right. Stephanie, how about 61 degrees Celsius?
Well,
first of all, tell us what the name means.
When I purchased the agency from Kirby Williams, we couldn't call it Kirby & Co. anymore because there was no more Kirby, and so Corey and I sat down and we wanted to find a name that embraced the area that we were in without being too on the nose, and so we thought the name 61 Celsius had a fresh and modern take, and we get that question a lot in terms of what the name means, and it's actually the temperature of the thermal springs in Hot Springs. So it piques the curiosity, and then people have a little nugget of knowledge that they get to take with them.
Cool. I'm sorry, I added degrees in there.
That's
61
all right.
Celsius.
It's just 61,
okay. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your business here and how you ended up buying it from Kirby.
Yes. In 2014, just shortly after we had relocated here with Corey, I started working with Kirby Williams, who has been such a fixture in the Hot Springs community and within advertising throughout the state of Arkansas. And so I really had a wonderful opportunity to work under his mentorship and get to know not only traditional advertising, but also bring in some of my knowledge on digital and social media. And through working with Kirby, I got involved in a lot of political campaigns, community campaigns, working with different organizations in town. And as Kirby's family grew and his daughters began having grandchildren in Little Rock, it became clear to him and his wife Claire that they were ready to move on to a different chapter of their life. And so I took hold of the agency after he decided to move back to Little Rock, and in the time since then, I have been fortunate to find and work with some really talented folks, including Aaron Buckley and Christina Millard and Neil Moore, who works with us out of Maumelle, and bring all of their expertise and talent on board to partner with great businesses and organizations in town, including the Chamber, the Metro Partnership, Visit Hot Springs, and countless other clients that I could rattle off for hours, but I don't know if you'd want that.
Well, so, I think you've been touted as certainly a great agency, but maybe you've had some accomplishments you want to share with us that the agency has attained?
Yes, we have had the opportunity to win a handful of awards from Addies that acknowledge the successes of the political campaigns we've done. In 2018, the Governor's Conference on Tourism awarded the Henry Award to 61 Celsius and Visit Hot Springs for the solar eclipse campaign that we did online. And then I've been honored to be recognized as both a rising star from the Chamber and one of Arkansas Business's 40 under 40.
Little excellence going on here, ladies and gentlemen. It's exciting. So, other than your child, Elliot, I know he's your proudest accomplishment, but other than Elliot, what would you say is your most proud accomplishment?
Ooh.
That's how I immediately turned to Corey, and I'm like, your turn.
Honestly, since our time in Hot Springs, we are so thrilled to have found a pathway forward for the school's first classroom building. The Creativity and Innovation Complex just opened up.
And it's beautiful.
This year. Yeah, it's a great facility. Harris Architects here in Hot Springs did a fantastic job on the design of the building. And the nicest part of it is, for the first time, all 230 students and nearly 100 employees are able to be under one roof together on campus for the first time. And so, over the last month or so since we've been in the building, we've had band concerts, science fair, lectures, and assemblies, and those are just not experiences we've been able to do as a community on our campus before. And so it provides us with a lot of opportunity and flexibility we haven't had. Plus, for the first time, there are new classroom spaces designed specifically for our program needs. So that's a great first step, but there certainly are many continued next pieces in the campus transformation.
Well, excellence breeds excellence. So Stephanie, how about yourself?
I don't know if I can name one single thing, but it's more of I'm proud of the fact that when there are movements in town to help move Hot Springs forward, that there are leaders within the community that I get to assist and help with, whether it was the Pave It Forward campaign, Full Steam Ahead for the Mid-America Science Museum. I've had the opportunity to work with 50 for the Future and kind of capture some of their visions for the Majestic site. I really take it as an honor and an accomplishment that when people are trying to find pathways to continue to grow Hot Springs, to continue to make improvements and make wonderful things happen, I am very appreciative of the fact that I get to come in on these projects and help lend whatever hand I can to leave a positive impact on the community.
So you're achieving some great results. Talk about what do you think are the key ingredients for your success, but for any success? We'll go to you first this time, Stephanie.
I'm worried that I'm going to steal what Corey might answer. Were you going to say grit?
No.
Or tenacity? We talk a lot about this in terms of students, and I think it's useful in terms of talking about success in general, but they use the term grit, which is in the face of adversity or when struggles or obstacles come your way, it's that determination to power through, to look at the big picture, and it's a little bit of optimism, but it's a little bit of, I'm going to make it through to this to where I want to be. And so I think that's important both as a business and as a community. As we have looked at Hot Springs over its history in the past 100 years, it's had its ups and it's had its downs, but one of the most remarkable things about this community is its determination to constantly push forward, to constantly grow and be what it can be. And so I think that is reflected in both the community and as a recipe for success.
Well, and a small business owner absolutely has that grit, because
yes.
it is not easy to run a small business.
No.
So kudos to you. Well, how about you,
Yeah,
Corey?
I think for younger professionals in particular, it's always super meaningful to find mentors and advocates who will invest in you. For Stephanie and I, we relocated from outside of Hot Springs, and so I know with her relationship with Kirby, certainly with colleagues and advocates on campus, community leaders and members who help to get us plugged in to understand the community and help us better understand the role that we could play in helping to move Hot Springs forward. Again, finding folks that want to make that investment in you, and also demonstrating that you're worthy of that investment, that it is worth someone's time to support and advocate for you, and then in turn how you pay that forward and help advance others around and alongside you.
I love it. Okay, so what's your favorite place in Hot Springs?
I don't know why I immediately thought of pizza. why my first thought is always in that direction. I do have to say, pizza is a very hotly contested subject in this office. And Aaron Buckley is standing outside that door. He is very team DeLuca's. I am very team Squeezebox. So we have to take turns in downtown in terms of which are awesome pizza places. And then I know when we first came here and I had a small child, we practically lived at Mid-America Science Museum. He would spend so much time there, and it's been so wonderful to see both him and the museum grow.
Mm-hmm. And you've been a part of it. Yeah. That's exciting.
It's been fun.
I think the only other one that I would add is the top of the mountain tower in fall, in autumn, when the leaves are at their brightest color. There's a beautiful panorama photo that the TLI staff had taken and printed for us on a canvas that's now in our new admissions office. It's 9 foot wide, and from the convention center and Banco ZK Arena all the way over to our side of campus, Park Avenue, Bella Rose, you see such the variety of the past, present, and future of the community, and realize the variety of experiences that are available, and all of that is nestled in the heart of this urban national park. And again, it's little things like that that help you appreciate the quality of space and opportunity that we get to spend our time in.
That's one of the things that I really love about you guys, is I feel like you really embrace Hot Springs and try to kind of suck the marrow out of it. You're aware of all the greatness that's here. So
it's home, and why wouldn't you be
exactly
call it your own?
So tell us something just a little bit quirky or interesting about yourself.
Okay, I'll start on this one. So one of my favorite childhood stories is Michael Jordan once used my head as a basketball. So when I was in 6th grade, I was selected by his educational foundation for a contest and got this all expenses paid trip to Chicago. So this was early 90s, at like peak of Jordan mania. And so there was a winner from each state, and we're all in this group photo, and I'm sitting down in front of him, right in front of him. And right as they take the group photo, he palms my head like a basketball, and I'm not sure I've ever smiled that bigger in my entire life on it.
Well, that's a great story.
That's the one you're going to want to use. Put the photo over it, because I don't know if I have anything that...
Do you have the photo?
Somewhere maybe.
Oh, we got to have the photo.
Yeah, I think your mom can find it. No, I think the closest thing I have is what I'd like to joke around with Corey. When before we came here, I was one of the coaches at Western Kentucky University speech and debate team, and it was one of these recognized programs throughout the state. And after winning the national and international championship, the governor, Steve Beshear at the time, honored the team and the coaches as being honorary Kentucky colonels. So I like to say that I am a colonel just like Harlan Sanders of Kentucky Fried Chicken. Not as cool as Michael Jordan, but...
Well, so how did you guys meet?
So again, we both participated in speech and debate throughout high school and college. unbeknownst to each other, we were actually at a tournament in Prague, Czech Republic in 2001 before we ever actually knew each other. But as I was finishing graduate work, Stephanie also was, and she came to work as a coach, speech and debate coach at WKU. And I was finishing up grad school and then went to work for Kentucky's version of ASMSA the next year. So speech and debate is how we got to know each other. Again, through the team, we had mutual friends, and kind of after we both started on our professional careers, we started dating. So.
Okay, elevator pitch for ASMSA. You're going to the University of Arkansas, you know, you need to then to recommit to the school. What do you say?
Sure. I mean, and it's legislative season, so since thankfully we are, again, our funding it comes from, and we're thankful to have the support of the General Assembly. Again, ASMSA exists to provide exceptional opportunities for talented and motivated students, and through our residential program, our digital learning initiatives, out-of-school enrichment programs, and teacher training programs, our goal is to improve learning throughout the state of Arkansas, and so that's what we do. We improve learning for everyone.
Awesome. Okay, Stephanie.
All right, 61 Celsius is a full-service marketing and advertising agency located here in Hot Springs. We have a small but talented group of individuals who are passionate to see businesses and organizations succeed. And so whether it's video production, website, graphic design, advertising in all of its forms, or even branding and logo design, we've got the talent and skills to make it happen.
Okay. How about a favorite quote? I mean, there's a few of them out there.
Oh man, yeah, I'm kind of at a loss on this one.
I know, I didn't get to do my homework and everything
Yeah.
else.
How about you tell us a little bit about Elliot?
Wait.
Okay.
I think, was it Ann Richards that said the Ginger Rogers did everything Fred Astaire did but backwards in high heels? I want to believe that's Ann Richards because I love her. And it sounds sassy, and I love that.
Yeah, that'll take it. So sorry, the
Okay.
question to tell us about Elliot.
Yeah.
Elliot is probably all of our quirks combined and then some. He has all of the curiosity that I would hope any young person does, and he seems to be in the way that any kid today his age is either wants to be a YouTube celebrity or a esports competitor. So probably a typical 8-year-old.
And a very fervent Lakeside Ram in second grade. As soon as I picked him up last night, they were having a spirit day at Chick-fil-A, and he said, "We need to go because my teacher's going to be there handing out chicken sandwiches." And so he's very proud. He's very proud to be a member of that school community. He is. At times he seems young, but he really enjoys being around adults, being an only child. So he's a lot of fun.
So do you think he takes on either one of your personalities a little more than the other? Or just an equal
Depends
mixture?
on what he's doing. There are times when I think he's got a pretty quick sense of humor, and sometimes he really likes to get into art and design and computers, and so that's when I like to take credit. But he's also incredibly sharp with math, very analytical and very confident, and so I can see him taking on a lot of the leadership potential that Corey has.
Okay. What's the favorite project you've ever worked on?
It's like asking you to pick a favorite child.
I know. Or, tell me a project that you really liked. I mean, it doesn't.
Oh my goodness. See, what's tricky is me personally working on one versus the agency. Most recently, Aaron and Christina, in the past, we've done a lot of social media for Visit Hot Springs. This is the first year that we are purely video production, and so Christina and Aaron, you'll see Aaron more than Christina are doing 2 different video series. One is Feast Mode, where they're going around to Hot Springs restaurants and showcasing the foods, and then the other one is an I Am Hot Springs video series, which is highlighting a lot of the people and personalities that visitors to town may see. So I don't get to go on those video shoots, but it's so much fun to come back and watch them editing and putting it all together, and I get to see more of what what Hot Springs has going on through watching them on those projects.
Okay, and now tell me one ASMSA made a difference in this child's life story.
So one of the things that I think is really exceptional about the school, certainly compared to some of the similar programs, is there is a real commitment to access for high ability, low income youth. Nationwide, only 2% of gifted and talented students come from low income backgrounds. So it's just, the odds are stacked against them in having access to advanced opportunities. And there was a young man from the Delta who literally his shoes were duct taped together and managed to get into an Ivy League school thanks to the opportunities and support from residential staff, from faculty, from our counselors, and that is just a completely different path than he probably would have experienced if he had stayed at home in his small town on it. And for every for his specific story, there are dozens, if not hundreds, exactly like him whose life was truly transformed thanks to the opportunities available.
I mean, that's the excellence that I'm really, excited to be highlighting today is people's lives are being transformed right up there on the hill, that right downtown, and then you're telling people stories right here at 61 Celsius. So this year at the Chamber and the Metro Partnership too, workforce development is a real issue that not only our community, but communities across the country are facing. What do you see as your roles in helping with that issue? I think you both are helping, but kind of how do you see it?
One of the biggest things that I have seen in terms of getting applications from people or having high school and college students reach out to the agency with an interest as we talk about entering the workforce in an industry like mine is throwing out that idea that you are left brain or right brain, that you are either creative and artistic or technical. Because for me, in my industry and the types of folks that I'm looking for, I like to tell young entrepreneurs or people entering the industry is you need to wear a lot of hats. And so no longer do you just have, okay, here's the person that knows code and they're going to build the website, and here's the graphic designer. We're looking for people who are creative and visionary and can think with the right and creative side of their brain, but have those technical skills as well. And so that fear that people have to pigeonhole themselves, or if they're not necessarily creative or as technical, that there's room to work all of those muscles to be successful.
Schools like ASMSA were originally established starting about 40 years ago as an economic development strategy by states, primarily in the South, actually. And the idea then was that we had all of these future STEM jobs on the horizon that would need talented young people to fill them. And then in the 90s, the message shifted a little bit to we need students with the capacity to be flexible because so many of the future jobs haven't even been created or established yet. But even today, and I think what we're focusing on in some aspects of our curriculum is enabling these young people to create those future jobs through entrepreneurial capacity. I think we're past a lot of the time of states' entire economic strategy focusing on mega super projects, billion-dollar projects, that well-placed and focused strategic investments in small entrepreneurial opportunities and entrepreneurs themselves can have the same kind of dividends. I mean, Arkansas itself is the template for what one imaginative entrepreneur can create. I think the other piece too is that as we talk to our own students, it's thinking about looking beyond what is the front end expectation of some companies. Arkansas has a variety of different enterprises, but again, most people think of the horses when they think of Oaklawn and the jockey and mutual betting, but it is an incredibly technologically sophisticated enterprise for the entire operation, and the kind of technical skill, the kind of creativity, the kind of interpersonal relationship building and hospitality that's all very much at the center of that. There are great opportunities in Hot Springs, and again, it's not the bag of chicken nuggets from Tyson or the cashier at Walmart or the truck on the highway with J.B. Hunt that take a little bit of a second glance beyond your first impression of what these industries are at the heart of our state and you'll realize that there's so much more opportunity for those with talent and interest.
So we've got this great resource of these people that are at these kids that are at your school. What do you think Hot Springs can do to encourage them when they start their career, if it's an entrepreneur career, or what steps does our community, we've done a lot of good things, but what do we need to do now to kind of kick it up a notch in terms of higher quality jobs?
Again, I think broadly we have a wonderful template for quality of life. I think that there are really three specifics that as we look at Generation Z entering the workforce and what are the conditions that are there. I think companies and organizations with a clear mission and purpose. Generation Z doesn't just want to put in a 9-to-5 kind of job. They're looking for something with value and meaning, not just for their pocketbook, but for their life. Again, we spend a third of our day at our jobs, and so it needs to be something we inherently believe in. Two, I think young professionals are looking for a different kind of housing than maybe the McMansions of the last 20 years or so. Exciting downtown living options that again aren't massive structures, but are appropriate for young individuals and couples starting out. And then the third is the topic that so many in the community have focused on recently. That's the question of broadband. We live our lives both online and offline, and so much of our experience is digital now that having high quality, stable, and affordable broadband isn't a luxury, it's a basic utility now. And so those things beyond good paying jobs are an important part of the puzzle.
Right.
Copy paste.
That's a good answer. I mean, that's right on. Well, I just want to thank you guys for taking time to be with us today. I'm certainly a big fan of the Alderdice family.
Well, that's mutual.
Well, thank you. You were dubbed the dynamic duo, so I thought that it kind of fits. And we're just thank you for striving for excellence. We're happy to highlight that excellence today. So,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.